You know what? I so badly want to engage. And I see it everywhere. It's really crazy how many people are talking about this. How many people are talking about the Jays. You know, how obvious this whole thing is becoming and how, you know, they're losing their anonymity. I literally, if I go through my Facebook or I go through, you know, my Instagram or whatever, it's just nothing but people talking about the truth. Talking about the J stuff, talking about the genocide, you know, talking about how we're going to override this. Because it's not about free Palestine. Free Palestine is just, it's yesterday's story. Palestine is I don't even know what Palestine supposedly is. You know, I know what it used to be. I know that it's been devastated in stages for, you know, decades now. And I mean, I don't even know what you would call, you know, what free Palestine would actually be. What is free? What's the free, you know, what would free be? They haven't ever been free. Ugh. Alright, you know what? Hang tight for a second. Selling drugs, you know. Oh boy. Oh, I love selling drugs that look just like cards. And to the layman, they would say, hey, those are cards. And I would say, those aren't cards. Those are drugs. They just look like cards. The Beatles. I'm just so frustrated at this point. It really all is just incredibly frustrating. And saddening and I don't know, it's empowering, you know? I feel extremely empowered by all of it. But I also just feel like it's just so wrong. All of it's so fucking wrong. And obvious. I don't get what, you know, I do this every day and I do a lot of I put all this shit out and I'm never told what I'm wrong about. And I don't understand what people are still holding on to. When it comes to the Jays, I don't even get it. I know they tell you you're not allowed to talk about them, but why don't you? Who gives a shit? Why are we so compliant to these really shitty, awful people? It's not like you can say, oh, well, they do such good things for the world. They help out so many people. They've helped you know, oh, they're our ally. They're our number one ally. If you can give me any example of them coming to our aid or helping us in any way, I'd love to hear it. I don't think that's true. And because I don't think that's true, you know, I challenge you to show me otherwise. It's been 7 hours and 16 days
for you.
Yeah, let me get the Vito with extra mayo and extra dressing and a pickle quartered, please.
Anything else?
No thanks.
$11.
Hey. Kid likes a Vito. Ooh. The perspective looks like he's driving a European car. I am driving a European car. No, I'm sitting passenger, dude. I have a driver. Don't you guys get it? I would never drive.
$11.
Hey, sir? I just don't know why you guys aren't more adamantly, violently, proudly opposed to these piece of shit Jays. What have they done to program you? What have they done to earn your silence? To earn your compliance? I mean, even your whole Jesus narrative bullshit, it doesn't make any sense, and I can't. What's the benefit of it? How does that work out for you? Has it? What part of the Jesus narrative is real enough to warrant your respect, to warrant your compliance, to warrant your belief? How does that work? Man, that was freaky fast.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. You know, I mean, is it like, to most of you, is it that you just don't follow any of the Palestine stuff? Is that how that works? Is it just solely based on ignorance? Because I have such a hard time believing that the average person is such a piece of shit that they don't care about women and children being annihilated, genocide. Like, I don't, how does that work for you? And why are we also willingly quiet? Well, these people are horrible people, and I'm so tired of people acting like we can't talk about them, and people acting like, oh, you can't blame a whole people for what one thing does, and yada yada. Shut the fuck up. Of course I can. Especially since you don't see those people coming out in droves condemning what's happening. You don't see the Jays coming out in droves condemning the genocide. You don't see them coming out in droves condemning the pedo stuff, the Hollywood pedo shit. You don't see any of that. All you ever see is compliance and defense. They're always defending, oh, you can't say that, oh, you can't do that, oh, we're special, oh, we deserve this, we deserve that. Like, it's really disgusting. If I was one of them, I would be the first one to call out the narrative, the rest of my people for doing these horrible things. If I was them, I would be the first one to distance myself from that cult, from that just everything, the murder, the rape, the disgusting beliefs, the supremacist beliefs. I can't understand it. My family is supposedly Project Operation Paperclip. And apparently it was a big no-no. And I, you know, I come from decent money. I mean, I come from Operation Paperclip money. So I was supposed to get a good chunk of that when my grandmother died. And I lost my inheritance, hundreds of thousands of dollars in inheritance, because I had the balls to ask the questions. Because I refused to just comply and go with the flow. And, you know, how can I say, tell you not to, you know, tell you to do it? It hasn't worked out well for me. It's been actually a fucked up nightmare. It's been an unprecedented, unbelievable. You wouldn't have been able to see it. Nightmare. What's that? Yeah, in a minute. Hey, buddy, boy. Yep, that's what it is. A hospital, steal a car. I'm a crazy bad guy because I think the Jays are awful. Isn't that amazing? Like, I always ask you, what regular white person, white American, whatever, what regular person is going to oppose me? This is the thing I constantly point out to you. Who's the regular person that's going to be like, dude, don't talk about those piece of shit Jays like that? Think about how crazy that is. These random nobodies just mad at me for you know, trying to make life better for us and not them. You know, I'm in you know, eliminate the practices that they do.
Taking this.
You should eat blunt.
It's smoking with me. You're such an asshole. Dad's an asshole.
How many of you guys think the Jays are okay? Look at her blunt.
It fucking. The bitch busted. My nails busted. What can I say?
A lot less, which would be preferred. You know, women should be seen and not heard. I hope that answers your question. I hope that answer your question as to why most people think you are an idiot. Most people think that way. Most people know who I am.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. If you think I'm an idiot because I don't fall for the Jay slavery, I mean, again, right on. Right? Like, it's too bad that you can't actually put it in the words and I have to put it in the words for you because you're not really smart enough, right? But if you're a big supporter of pedophilia and the Jay slavery, then yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. Most people that comment, that's not what it says. It says, I hope that answer your question as to why most people think you are an idiot. You couldn't even be bothered to edit your thing, but go ahead and act like you said something else. It's literally right there, but yeah, I'm not reading the comment. That's what it is. What a stupid ass. What a stupid, stupid ass. It's so shocking. These dumb Jays, man. And I would assume, like, like if you're one of the house Negroes, you're gonna be mad at the field Negro that's trying to, rally the troops and cause trouble. Like, oh no, no, no. Don't go rocking the boat. I got it good here.
I got a nice cushy job.
Right, I sleep inside. I know you guys don't sleep inside, but I sleep inside. Like, I get it. There are a bunch of dumb Uncle Toms on here.
But guess what? The fucking shit that Trump just reversed, don't count on having that cushy job for very long.
I mean,
you're working for a black or minority-owned business, you're not going to have that job for long.
I think my wife is being overrun with. She's don't pay attention to that shit anymore. What's your opinion on Trump wanting to weed disability scammers like you out? Oh, I think he should. Yeah. It just goes to show you how stupid people are. Like you don't just scam surgery.
If you knew the amount of pain.
The surgeries, it's just. But see, this is ad hominem, right? This is when they can't address the comments being made. They can't address the point of fact. The fact that the Jays are the pedos, and the Jays pull the strings, and the Jays are the responsible for the genocide and all this. They can't address that. So what do? They try to attack some highly charged blah 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 bullshit because they can't actually address anything. Like, you'd think if there wasn't a Jay conspiracy, they would just, yeah, you're crazy. Why, this is that. The Jays are good because of this. But they don't. And you have to ask yourself, who is going to get mad? I always ask, who are the trolls that are here? You're a troll, you're here, you're talking your shit. For what reason? I'm an idiot. You're mad and I'm an idiot. So you're going to watch me day after day, hour after hour, and talk shit. Because I'm such an idiot. I think the Jays are awful. Because I'm so stupid, I don't fall for Trump or any of that bullshit. Like, do you understand how stupid that is? How desperate that is? Why won't you just address the things that are being said? Why are you so bent on talking about anything other than the things being said? It's really kind of shocking, right? You can't judge all of them because of a few rotten apples. Yeah, I can. The fact is, you can't not judge all of them because you might have had a good experience with one or two. Because they were nice to your face at one point. When I start seeing large groups of Jays calling for an end to the genocide, calling for an end to the supremacist belief structure, then I'm going to talk, then we can talk about how good some of them are. But when we're talking about, like, the rotten apples that you're talking about, the Netanyahus and the Itmar Ben-Gvir. So I'm going to start naming off people that most of you are too dumb. You don't know who I'm even talking about. But Itmar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich and Avi Moaz and Benjamin Netanyahu. This horribly racist supremacist coalition was put in place by the people. The people overwhelmingly voted to put this piece of shit in office, knowing what he was running on, knowing that he was running on the idea that he was going to overtake the West Bank, knowing that he was going to do the judicial overhaul that they then all protested, knowing that he was going to make his own charges disappear, knowing he was going to do all these bad things. They put him in charge overwhelmingly. Because they're horrible, horrible people. I think you're confused between it. No, based on what? So let me ask you this. How much research do you put into it? How many hours do you put into it? Are you one of these people that's been following this narrative since October 7th or long before it? And then how much of the J stuff do you actually know? Do you know that Hebrew is the youngest language on the planet? Do you know why Israel, are you a two state solution kind of person? Like, huh? Oh, you're a disgusting piece of shit, Jay. Oh, fuck you then. I don't give a fuck what the hell you're saying. You're a disgusting piece of shit. You support the cutting and sucking of baby penises. You support, the idea that women's vaginas are disgusting. You support this slavery, this genocide. You support all of it. You're just horrible. Horrible. The racist, the supremacist idea that you are chosen by God and the rest of us are just goyim. It says it all. If you identify with that bullshit, then you're just a piece of shit. You don't have to, you could say, oh, I was raised in that horrible cult, but I don't subscribe to it. Then I'm going to be impressed by you. But if you subscribe to that cult, believing that I'm just a goyim and that everyone else is a goyim, believing that Israel should exist in the first place, all of it, you're just a piece of shit. Confusion is hatred, impulse, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I'd love to see all the schizophrenic nut jobs you watch day after day and wait to please go live, please. I'd love to see how schizophrenic all of us are. I mean, again, if you're stupid enough to say schizophrenic when you mean something like delusional or psychopathic, something like that. Schizophrenic means I'm talking to voices in my head.
A little more creative than that.
Come on now. Oh, the voices, yeah. No, there's no schizophrenia going on here. You just dumb ass.
Never once heard you say anything about voices in your head.
Right.
And I've been with you for 20 years.
But this is all they have. This is ad hominem again. I'm not smart enough to address what you're saying. I want to be involved in the conversation because I'm an arrogant piece of shit. But I don't know anything. I can't get involved in this. You said Bazuzu. What was the guy's name? Smootra. What? Who else? Who are these people you're naming? You're just not even on my level. It's embarrassing that you're here. You know nothing. And it's so frustrating to think just how stupid everyone is. How many people claim to believe in a Jesus God, blah, 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 and they know nothing about where it comes from. Pam! Good evening, Pam. I haven't seen you in a long time. Can you believe all this bullshit going on? Do you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, Israel claimed that they were doing a ceasefire? Do you guys remember this shit? Do you guys remember me saying that the only reason that they did this ceasefire is so they could claim that they got rid of all their hostages so that they could really start killing people? That there wouldn't be a ceasefire? Do you guys remember that?
Oh, that might be my package. You go see.
Well, I go see. Why do I have to go see? Get your fat ass up.
Shut up! Jesus! Bro.
He's doing his job. Hey, thanks, man. Have a good night.
Your mom. Your father, your great uncle Lisa.
You have an Uncle Lisa? That is friggin' weird.
Just spam. Ready?
Go turn your light off, Nick. I don't know, man. You know what I wanted to look up?
Oh, yeah.
Let me see your phone for a second.
You might have to do a new tab.
I don't have to do a shit. Okay? I'll do what I want.
I open this.
So I want to look up exploding pagers. Let's see what the exploding pagers. Lebanon electronic device attacks. Oh, that was in Lebanon. That's interesting because in my head I thought it was Gaza that got hit by it.
You set this big ass box for this little.
But let's see. On September 18th, 17th, and 18th, 2024, thousands of handheld pagers and hundreds of walkie-talkies intended for use by Hezbollah. Wow, that's interesting how they've done that. They were intended for use by Hezbollah, except a whole bunch of, well, except for it was all civilians that were, you know, that were victims of this.
But I thought Hamas was responsible.
That's interesting, huh?
Yeah. What about Al Qaeda?
No. Israel was responsible. So, exploded simultaneously in two separate events across Lebanon and Syria in an Israeli attack nicknamed Operation Grim Beeper.
Oh, Jesus. That's
Grim Beeper. Jesus Christ. They make jokes out of it.
Yeah.
That's how fucked up this is. But see, I'm really interested to see how this works because it's like it's not being talked about enough. How could Israel have gotten to the supply chain of all of these pagers and walkie-talkies? And then it still got distributed out to the people. When did Israel intervene and load all of these devices with these explosives? The attack killed at least 42 people, including 12 civilians. 12 civilians as opposed to the Hezbollah. Because if they just name somebody Hezbollah, that makes it okay. Just like with Hamas. I mean, again, if you think if you think the best thing to do right now is to keep proving how stupid you are, then please go right ahead. I mean, can you imagine, like, this is an adult conversation. This is a big boy conversation. And you just keep running up and being like, nah, boo, boo. And you expect people to take you seriously. So please, by all means, go ahead. The estimates of the number of injured range from 1,500 Hezbollah fighters, according to an unnamed Hezbollah official. Isn't that strange? To 4,000 civilians, according to Mustafa Bayram, Minister of Labor and a member of Hezbollah. Oh, member of Hezbollah too. Everybody is just a member of Hezbollah. Victims had injuries including losing fingers, hands, and eyes, as well as brain shrapnel. The incident was described as Hezbollah's biggest security breach since the start of the Israel-Hezbollah conflict in October of 2023. I don't remember there being an Israel-Hezbollah conflict starting in October of 2023. The first wave of explosions on September 17th targeted pagers, killing at least 12 people, including two Hezbollah members and 2 children. So that would mean 8 civilians. Only 2 of the people killed were supposed Hezbollah members, and wounding more than 2,750 people, including Iran's ambassador to Lebanon. The second wave on September 18th targeted ICOM walkie-talkies, killing at least 30 people and injuring over 750. So again, what is being used? Were explosives put into these devices somewhere along the manufacturing line? Or is Israel using some sort of device that makes these things explode? Kind of strange, huh? The 150 hospitals across Lebanon that received victims of the explosions experienced chaotic scenes. 7 months before the explosion, Hezbollah Security General Hassan Nasrallah instructed the group's members to use pagers instead of cell phones, claiming Israel had infiltrated their cell phone network. About 5 months before the explosion, Hezbollah purchased gold Apollo AR 924 pagers. The Israeli intelligence agency Mossad had secretly manufactured and integrated the explosive PETN into the devices and sold them to Hezbollah through a shell company. That was a pretty long fucking setup, don't you think? International officials and scholars of the law of war have debated the legality of the attacks, which critics suggest they might constitute war crimes or acts of terrorism. Of course that's what it is. These were random civilians that had their pagers and everything and their walkie-talkies all loaded with bombs, and then these things were exploding, hurting people, not just the person holding it, but hurting all sorts of people. Responding to the attacks, Nasrallah described the explosions as a major blow and labeled them an act of war, possibly a declaration of war by Israel. Initially, Israel denied involvement, but in November 2024, Israeli Prime Minister douchebag Netanyahu admitted Israeli responsibility. Following the explosions, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant announced a new phase of the war in northern Israel had begun. Hezbollah vowed retaliation, launching a rocket attack on northern Israel a few days later that struck cities such as Nazareth and Kiryat, injuring several civilians. They launched rocket attacks that only injured a few people. 10 days after the device explosions, Israel assassinated Nasrallah in an airstrike in Beirut. On November 20th, the guy that, who was it? Who did we just say? We just saw Nasrallah. Hezbollah's Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah. On November 22nd, 7th, a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Lebanon went into effect, although some attacks continue. Yeah, Israeli attacks. This just reminds me of Operation Cast Thy Bread, where the Israelis poisoned the drinking water wells. This reminds me of these Israelis are just psychotic. They're literally the worst people in the world, and the way that they do things and the things that they do are just disgusting. I mean, look at this piece of shit on here, right? Palestinian children had it coming, he says. Who in their right mind would say that? What kind of absolute piece of shit says something along those lines? I mean, nobody even jokingly says something like that. That's just something that only a piece of shit Jay would think is funny. And that's, they can't help but identify themselves. They can't help but separate themselves. It's like, it's one of the reasons why they never get into the pedo conversation. Because they know after a few digs, we're going to figure out who they really are. But I would give anything for Hugh Honker to come to my house and let me just punch him right in his face. Just come on, let me punch you in the face, you pussy ass. We all know you're a dumb Jay, so Jays are cowards. And Jays would never actually do anything man to man, face to face. But man, I wish they had the balls to actually engage in anything other than, cowardly bomb dropping, because that's all they're doing on my feed. They're just dropping, coward bombs, hoping it hits something important, hoping it says, it hits a nerve or it hits. Most of their shit is just coward. They're anonymously saying a bunch of stupid shit because in their real life they're these cowards who walk around all meek and in the shadows. These Jays are they don't shower. They cut and suck baby penises. Like, these people are discussing bloodletting. There's all sorts of shit where if you start looking into the accusations and the narratives that they create, you start seeing why they're the worst people in the world. Operation Cast Thy Bread was them poisoning drinking water wells. You guys hear me when I tell you this? They put poison into the drinking water sources of their enemies, making them sick. And then attack them afterward. And these weren't the enemies that were doing stuff to them. These were the enemies that had the land they wanted. And because they can't stand up, man to man, face to face, evenly, they know they're such cowardly, meek, disgusting little trolls that they have to do something like that. They have to take people out in illegal ways. I mean, that's an illegal war crime. These are pieces of shit. And it's funny. Oh, you're an AV member. Well, even better, right? Even better. Because it's like, you guys don't realize how you've just been used. Duped. You guys think you're something special. And trust me, this guy's not AB, right? And AB has much better things to do than be trolling the internet. This guy's the type of person that would get his shit kicked in for claiming AB when he's not. But the fact is they've convinced they've convinced us to hate each other. They've got the black people and the white people hating each other so that we don't focus on them, when they're the ones that cause all the problems, right? They're the ones that own the prisons. They're the ones that write the laws and create the enforcement systems. They're the bad ones, and they have us fighting each other. And there's nothing that fucks with somebody that's a racist of some sort, like having that halfy grandkid, and they basically all do nowadays. You start having enough kids or whatever, one of them's gonna get doinked by a black dude, or fighting black chicks attractive, whatever it may be. But the truth is, they have all of us fighting each other over stupid shit, over skin color, over sexual preference, over, sex, whether you're a man or a woman. Like, they have us just so stupid. It's really disgusting. We should be better than this. We should be better than falling for their bullshit. But we're not. The Hitler bullshit. Literally, there's some Hitler bullshit on my TV right now. And the whole Hitler narrative is just fake. Like, for all the people that call themselves some sort of white supremacist and they're a Hitler follower or whatever, it's like they don't even know. They just must not know. They must not know about the narrative that was given to them, the Hitler narrative that was given to them. That the Nazis were the National Socialist Zionist Party. NAZI is the National Socialist Zionist Party. That is all just a fucking lie. Hitler was this probably a gay guy, extremely effeminate at the very least, who had nothing to do with any of the stuff going on. He was the guy that was in charge of like all the fancy parties and all the fancy celebrations and the uniforms and shit like that. That was much more of Hitler's forte. He's just a character they gave us. And at the same time, you have Stalin and the Bolshevik Jays, you know, Marx and Lenin, who are killing 25 million Christians. Same time. Nobody talks about him. He's the next Stalin. Oh, Stalin youth. Oh, this, that. Nobody ever talks about that. How did Hitler get to be the superstar out of all of them? Mao killed 100 million people, so they say. How come nobody's the next Mao? It's always the next Hitler. Leopold of Belgium killed like 50 million Africans. Same time. All this shit's the same time. Yep, I'm wrong. Sure. Hugo Boss was in charge of the uniforms. Okay. You believe what you want. The thing that you guys don't understand is Hollywoodism. Before you do anything else, before you watch anything else, you need to watch a movie called Hollywoodism. Hollywoodism is the most telling piece of film ever made. It's the most eye-opening piece of film ever made. And it's the best film ever made because most of the time, even if it's really good, like the Obama deception is really good, but knowing Alex Jones made it, you know it's just some shill bullshit. But people can always hide. If they find out Alex Jones made it, they, oh, Alex Jones made it. Well, that's just conspiracy theory. Blah, blah, blah. You know, people are always looking for their excuse. But when it comes to Hollywoodism, like if I made Hollywoodism and I had a bunch of people of color, even white people, we made the exact same movie. Line for line. We said all the same things. I had actors saying all the same things, all the same ways. That movie would get panned. That movie would be called anti-Semitic. That's pushing conspiracy theories and all this other. But the fact that they made it and they're the stars, they're the ones and bullshit that are in it. There's no hiding. There's no saying, oh, it's anti this, or they're bragging. They made it bad. It literally tells you about how not just they controlled Hollywood, but that they, through their control of Hollywood, have controlled everything. Our entire narrative. Your belief in the, you know, in your Hitler stuff, in your Ku Klux Klan, in your AB, you know, all these things. These are all narratives that they give us, and they've given us throughout the generations using the media. And they brag about it. They tell us that's where it all comes from. There's a reason why they were stylish. There's a saying in Americans are dressed like going to work the Brits, the Germans, just whatever. Stop being anti-Semitic. Thank you for showing me just how stupid you are. And I appreciate whenever anybody's stupid enough to say that. Because Semitic refers, as much as the Jays think they own everything, they don't own the word Semitic. Semitic refers to all of the people in the region. Egyptians are Semitic. Palestinians are Semitic. Syrians, Iranians, Yemeni, Lebanese, all of the people in that region, black, white, brown, all of them are considered Semitic. It's a regional thing. Semitism, which is something that I proudly practice. I am extremely proud of my anti-Semitism. Semitism is a Semitic character occurring in, number one is Semitic character, Semitic character qualities. Number two is a Semitic word occurring in another language. That's number 1B. But number two is policy and policy or predisposition favorable to J's. Policy, meaning the laws, the rules, the on paper stuff, and predisposition, meaning how you go into it. Before you know anything else, you know that it's J's, so they're going to have the favorable notes. It's favorable to the J's. Why should they get any sort of favor over anyone else? What makes them any better? No need to be of course there's a need to be anti-Israel. Of course, take that hate out of your heart. Why? I have a very, very balanced and good relationship with my hatred. I'm very proud of my hatred. I hate cults. I hate genocide. I hate pedos. And the Jays are the biggest pedos in the land. You know, so why should I not hate this shit? Give me a good reason why I shouldn't have a good, healthy hatred for such a disgusting cult. See, it sucks, and I tell you guys this all the time. This is how this works. When they find out you don't believe in Jesus, when they first they go, oh, it's in the Bible. And you go, yeah, the Bible is nonsense. So then they go, oh, well, that's anti-Semitic. And you go, no, I know what words mean, and I'm proud of my anti-Semitism. Then they start coming with this bullshit hatred. Oh, hatred and hate. Yeah, I'm proud of my hate. Anybody wants to tell me why I shouldn't hate pedos, I'd love to hear your reasoning. 9 million died in the cost. Oh, so you're just dumb. You don't even need to be talking anymore. Like, you don't even know the bullshit narrative. And this is what I'm saying. Why do I even talk to these people? They're clearly stupid. Even the dumb narrative they give us says it's only 6 million. And that's just here in the States. They don't say that shit like over in Germany and stuff. They say it's 3 million over there. And the reality is there were only about 3 million Jays in Europe at the time, and most of them escaped here. So how 6 million came about is sort of beyond me. But this dumbass is saying 9 million. And that says everything you need to know. And it's strange because you just go like you don't even have very good programming and you still believe it. You don't even know the narrative as it's supposed to be known, and you still believe it. You still believe that they somehow deserve Semitism. Crazy, right? You're a Harvard graduate. Ah, bullshit. Come on. It's 8.6 million. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not even going to Google it because you're a stupid ass. So stupid. So stupid. And it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. The Red Cross was stationed all over the place. Nobody was talking about this holocaust until after the fact. Then suddenly everybody was like, oh yeah, the Jays, yeah, they were all killed. I mean, one of the funniest narratives to me is the notion that they were told that they had to wear armbands or little stars pinned on their chest so they could be identified. So you're telling me all the Jays are disappearing around you, even though I guess there's no rumors of anything. You don't think to take that shit off and escape? You're gonna wear the identifier? Why would you wear the identifier, especially when supposedly the hatred was so strong? Oh, because I'm proud of myself. You're so proud you're going to put your family in danger? Shut up. That's not how that works. It's just such stupid nonsense. They love to create these narratives, like again, like Samson, that they were the strongest man and were able to pull down the temple. It was a Jay that pulled down the temple and knocked down the pillars because he was so strong. They always embellish and just glorify themselves and their bullshit stories. But oh, it's not a hoax because you've been to a museum. Oh, right. Well, that must make it real then. So stupid. Who would ever do that? If it's a real thing, why would they glorify it like that and create museums and shit? There's not like African slavery museums all over the place where they make the outside of the place look like a plantation. And no, it's all about pushing a narrative. That's literally it. And it's bullshit. It's a bullshit narrative. Again, why didn't they just take the shit off? If you're going to build death camps for people, why would you make them with electricity, running water, heat? Why would they be allowed to have soccer teams and theater groups and their own money? You know? It's such a bullshit narrative, and it's obvious. It's like obvious. How come in all the footage you've ever seen of people supposedly getting liberated from the camps, not one of them is ever just like, yes, yes, thank you. Oh, and they're happy to get, not one person smiling, nothing. They're all just walking all, meh, 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 meh. I can't believe we're getting let out of our hellish camps. We have Stockholm syndrome. We're all so sad. Even though we're all fat, they're all fat. None of them are gaunt, skinny, anything like that. None of them have bruises or marks. They're all just walking slowly because they're sad to be leaving captivity for some fucked up reason. Not one of them is, you know, that shit's been proven false, right? It's been proven a false fucking bullshit narrative. I did read the Diary of Anne Frank. It was part of school back when I was a kid. Every year we had the same bullshit history lesson where they would for a month at least they would drill in this bullshit narrative every month, every year, month, a month at a time at least. But no, she's deaf, dumb, and blind, and somehow learns how to speak and write books and all this. Deaf, dumb, and blind, huh? How could you ever even begin to communicate with that person? Just think about it. How could you teach them anything? You're going to burn their finger and be like, 2 taps. That means, like, how could you even begin to express communication? Once you got past things like hot, cold, those things to the touch, and then I don't even know how you would begin to communicate that this means this. Like, it's just stupid. It's such a dumb, fake, we are amazing sort of narrative. It's not like you've ever heard of that since. Show me the deaf, dumb, and blind girl today with today's technology and everything we have going on. Born deaf, dumb, and blind, who learned how to talk and write books and travel the world. And show me that. Oh, yeah, that's Helen Keller, not Anne Frank. My bad. I was wrong there. You are right. No, Anne Frank is just another one of those fake stories. My bad. Sorry, I mix up my fake Jade propaganda stories because they're all stupid. And we heard the boots upstairs and they were running, or we heard them when we were hiding in the crawl space, and we heard the boots above us, and it's all bullshit. Like that story that came out about those old people where the girl would bring him an apple through the fence each day, and eventually they got married and blah blah blah, and they did this and that, and then it came out that it was fake. And they asked him, like, why did you do this? And he said, because it should be told. Even if it wasn't fake, it should be true. And like just this bullshit. He wasn't sorry at all. He was proud of the fact that he brought life to this bullshit. Like, it's crazy. I'd love to meet you in person. Yeah, too bad you wouldn't say anything. I'd punch you in your dumb face. You'd be looking up at me like, I'm sorry, sir. Dumb girls. How did you learn to breathe? Well, I had a lot of classes. Where did you go to breathing school? Oh, wait, that's a bodily function. You just function. Being deaf, dumb, and blind is kind of like if your breathing mechanism didn't work and you had to be taught how to do it. How would you be able to teach somebody how to breathe before they died? But yeah, that's a good point. Thanks for making such a strong point there. Learning how to speak, that's the same thing. That whole thing is the same as learning how to breathe. Because you got to learn how to breathe. What a dumbass. Thank you so much. Like, seriously. Not only could you be doing anything else in the world, but you're here. And you're here and you could literally like actually sit there and come up with something really intelligent to say. And instead you just continue to prove how stupid you have to be to oppose me. And I so appreciate it. Thank you so much. I couldn't do it without you. You know, people would think I was crazy if I talked about just how stupid these people are. And, you know, there was no example of it. But the fact that you just raise your me, I'm stupid, please, me, call on me. Like, I love it so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. You kick my ass. Meet me then, tough guy. Okay, I'm coming. Where are we going? You'll come to me. Okay, you come to me. Okay, tough guy. God, can you imagine your dick being that little? Literally, that's all you tell me when you're like picking fights through Facebook or through fucking social media. I'm a random troll, and you made me feel stupid because I said stupid things, and you called me out for it. The only thing that means is you have the tiny dick syndrome. The tiny dick syndrome that makes you do all kinds of stupid shit. I just appreciate it so much. I appreciate the example consistently, consistently being there. Okay, I'll give you the address. Hang on. Yeah. You said you kicked my ass. Let's go. Somebody said they kicked my ass. I gotta fight. Can you imagine being that stupid? You're one of those people that gets in road rage incidents all the time. Somebody messes up and accidentally cuts you off or whatever, and you're like, ah, ah. Somebody stepped on my shoe when we were in a crowded area. That's disrespect, bro. Ah. You're just an idiot. You're just like the insecure little dick idiot that they want us to be. And it's so embarrassing and it's so sad. And you just think like, how can people be so outwardly stupid? And like proud of it. Like, oh, look, this is how stupid I am. Like, how do people exist in that world? You know? Some MK Ultra shit, right? It's like how black people have been tricked into committing crimes, and all you got to do is utter a word. It's the same sort of thing with these insecure white guys. They're just, I want to fight. Oh, I want to fight. What a stupid ass. This guy thinks that, like, people know who he is. He's going to go to work tomorrow. Yeah, right. He's going to go to the bar later tonight or something. I said work and I was sorry. He's going to be hanging out at his meth house or whatever it is. And the guys, they're going to be like, hey, I saw you on that Guy Williams feed yesterday. Oh, man, he tore you a new asshole. Like, you're so fucking pathetic. You are such a pathetic fucking loser. It's so sad. I cannot imagine giving half a shit about what somebody on social media says. How can you be that insecure? It's so fucking goofy. It's so goofy. You know, I just can't, like, what a dumbass. What a dumbass. Gonna end up in fucking jail over some dumb shit. What kind of dumbass all lumped up in the hospital and in jail? What kind of dumbass does that kind of shit? It's just so stupid. It's just so embarrassing. Like, if I was a white person, I would be like, dude, please stop making us look bad. Please stop being insecure, white guy. There is enough of those people out there. How does that keep getting made? How does insecure white guy keep getting made? So many, and it's such a bad look. And it just doesn't work out. It's so stupid. So stupid. Like, and basically what this guy is saying is that that I matter to him. What I say matters to him so much more than anything else. He's going to waste gas money, and he's going to get himself beat up, and he's going to get arrested, and he's going to have all these bad things happen to him because I said so, because I matter to him so much. Can you imagine being that fucking stupid? How else can you say you're just an absolute loser sitting around? You got nothing else going on, that this is what you would choose to do. What a piece of shit loser. And it's just some dumb Jay talking shit. He wouldn't do anything. He's just some dumb Jay. Some crybaby, you know. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Anyway, I have much better things to do than feed this guy's little fantasy. Please touch me. Please, if it means anything, you're just touching me. Just give me some attention. I just need to be near you, please. I'm good. Everyone have a wonderful evening. Go get your free download. And you pedophiles, kill yourself.